linear motion system, ball screws, actuators,
Yeah.
all the stuff that makes things move in straight lines. You wouldn't believe how much these seemingly simple systems impact our daily lives.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. Everywhere you look, things are moving in precise, controlled ways.
And that's where linear motion comes in.
And the precision involved is mind-blowing. I remember working on a project for a medical device company, and
Medical devices, that's got to be fascinating. Tell me more about that.
well, they were developing this robotic surgical system,
Yeah.
for minimally invasive procedures.
Right, those tiny incisions, amazing stuff.
Exactly. And the challenge was, how do you get incredibly precise movements in such a confined space? The answer, a custom linear actuator.
Custom one, wow. So not something off the shelf.
Nope. This was bespoke engineering. We were using miniature ball screws. It was like building a watch, but instead of gears, we had these tiny balls riding in grooves.
For surgery, that's wild.
It was incredible. That actuator allowed the surgical robot to make the tiniest adjustments with millimeter precision.
Wow, so your work was directly contributing to a potentially life-saving technology.
It was pretty amazing to be a part of that. And that's just one example. Linear motion is everywhere.
It really is. And speaking of which, we got some material here from Helix Linear Technologies. They make all sorts of linear motion systems, ball screws, lead screws, actuators, you name it.
They're a big name in the field for sure.
Yeah, industries like medical, aerospace, industrial automation. So I'm curious, from your perspective, why is precision so crucial in those fields?
Well, think about it. In those fields, precision is often the difference between success and failure, or even life and death.
That's a high-stakes game.
Absolutely. Take an airplane, for example. Linear actuators control critical systems like the flaps and landing gear.
The things that make it fly and land safely.
Exactly. And those systems need to work perfectly every single time, under immense pressure, extreme temperatures. There's just no room for error.
Makes sense. So how does a ball screw actually work? I mean, what makes it so precise?
Okay, so picture a screw, right? But instead of a regular thread, it's got this track filled with tiny ball bearings.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
When you rotate the screw, those ball bearings circulate within the track. And that motion, that turning, gets converted into linear motion.
So you're turning to push or pull something along a straight path.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is that those ball bearings create incredibly smooth movement, almost no friction.
So you can make tiny adjustments and get really precise positioning.
Precisely.
So it's like a super efficient screw.
Got it. They also mentioned custom systems. It's not quite like building from scratch, but it is very collaborative. A client comes to Helix with a problem, right? Maybe they need to move a heavy load very slowly, very smoothly, let's say for a manufacturing process.
Okay, so a specific need, not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Exactly. Helix wouldn't just grab a standard actuator off the shelf. They'd sit down with the client, understand their needs, then design a custom system that meets those exact requirements.
So it's like problem solving, not just selling parts.
They're almost like engineering detectives, figuring out how to achieve the desired motion and make it efficient and reliable too.
That makes sense. And it ties into that whole trusted partner idea, which Helix talks about a lot. But what does that even mean for someone like me? I'm not building rockets or, surgical robots.
That's a good point. Think of it this way. Precision engineering is all around us, even if we don't see it. That smooth sliding drawer in your kitchen, probably running on linear rails.
Never thought about that.
Or your car door. Aligns perfectly, closes with a satisfying thud. That's precise hinges, maybe even actuators, doing their job.
So linear motion systems are like the unsung heroes of everyday products.
Exactly. They're ensuring things work smoothly, reliably, safely. We just don't often think about them.
Wow, that's a great point. So we've gone from these seemingly simple ball screws to realizing they're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's easy to take them for granted. We just expect things to move smoothly and precisely.
But we don't often stop to think about the complex engineering that makes it possible.
And the people behind it all, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So next time you encounter something that moves with precision, whether it's a fancy gadget or just a drawer, take a moment to appreciate the design, the engineering, the whole thing. You might be surprised how much linear motion is quietly working its magic in your daily life.
It really is amazing when you start to notice it.
It is.